Hi, so here I'll be showing you how I drafted the pattern for the ruffle skirt. I've already placed where I want one of the ruffles, so I'm going to put the other line down to show where I want the other line of ruffles to go. So I'm using my set square to draw 7 centimetres below the first line so that it's even. So now I've got the two lines, I need to measure them so I know how big to make the ruffle for it. So I'm turning my tape measure on the side so I can get an accurate measurement. And that's 24.5 centimetres. And the depth, just good to check, is 7 centimetres. And then on the bottom ruffle, the length is 28.5 and then the depth is 8.5. So to make the ruffle we start with a rectangle. So I'm going to do the top ruffle, which was 24.5 centimetres wide and it had a depth of 7 centimetres, but I'm going to make this 8 centimetres long so that the bottom of the ruffle covers the top of the bottom ruffle. So it's 8 centimetres deep, and then I'm just going to join those two ends up. We don't need to add any seam allowance yet because it's not finished, so we're just going to cut this out. And then I'm going to put marks where I'm going to cut up to allow the excess fabric in to make the ruffle. So I'm doing it every 6 centimetres. So snipping from the bottom up to the top, trying not to cut through. So I want to make one solid shape that I can use as a pattern piece. So I'm going to put 3 centimetres between the opening of each ruffle. So once I've got that, I'm just going to stick it down all the way around. Join up the holes that I've made and then draw a centimetre all the way around it. And that's the ruffle for the top of the skirt. So I'm treating it just like a paper pattern, but I'm going to make it out of paper. So I've put double-sided tape down onto my base paper shape, and then wherever the notches are, I'll just allow them to open up, and that will create the ruffle in the bottom of the skirt. So you just arrange it how you want it. A little bit of tape would help here as well on the bottom of the ruffle to get it to sit better. So I've done the top ruffle as well. Join the side part on and then carry on the ruffles all the way along. I don't want the ruffle to get trapped in the side seam, so I've just joined the ruffle together and now I'm just sticking it down and pivoting it open, and that creates the ruffle on the bottom part of it. So you can see if you wanted more of a ruffle, you'd allow a larger space than 3 centimetres between each one. So to cover up the top, I'm using some paper to stick down over the edge that's got the notches into it. So that's all finished. So now you just need to stick the side seams together, and there you have a mock-up of the ruffle skirt.